con los protagonistas de la entrega del Día de la Independencia, Contraataque. 20 años han pasado desde la primera historia y ahora vienen con mucha más acción y los aliens están de vuelta. Hi you guys, hola, ¿cómo están?
Hola, bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, buen español. Your Goldblum, is your Spanish any good? ¿Es bueno su español?
Bueno, no es bueno.
No es muy bueno.
No es muy bueno, no, lo siento.
Lo siento, no importa. Perfecto.
Gracias.
It's been
Muchas
20 years since the last time we saw you doing kicking ass, kicking aliens ass. And you're back at it, and this is your first time kicking aliens ass.
It's my first time.
So what is it like to be at this great movie that is part of the cinema history?
You know, it's exciting. It's a film that's lasted the last 20 years in people's minds, and everybody still sees it as this great film. You know, it's not something that was forgotten in any way. And for me, it sort of feels like I'm just jumping into the movie, and now that I'm talking with Director Levinson and, you know, all these other characters, and everybody is so enthusiastic and so involved in the project, and I just kind of feed off that energy and hope that I can give a performance, you know, iconic as theirs.
How did they get the lights on? We didn't. It happened on its own 2 days ago.
What is great about this movie is that some of the original cast is coming back. You are back. Do you feel any pressure being with these giants? They know the story already?
Yes, but at the same time, you know, the pressure that I was feeling, they kind of lifted off of me. They were very influential and very helpful, very welcoming, and you know, it was nice. It was nice to kind of walk in and see a bunch of smiling faces and have everyone just happy to be there. You know, it was 20 years ago, so I can only imagine what it must be like for Jeff to be coming back into this project.
How was it coming back? When you decided to say yes?
Well, Dean Devlin, Roland Emmerich's partner, with whom he cooked up the first one, and Roland called me about 3 years ago and said, we want to take you to dinner. We want to tell you a story, and we think you might be interested. And anyway, they told me that they thought that they were ready and on the brink of doing this thing. The technology was good, that they could do something that they had in mind, and the story was right. And I was very excited.
And is it hard for an actor to replay a role that you did 20 years ago and to go back to him and say, oh, how he's changed? How was the part to bring him back?
I like that part of it, you know, because you already have a basis of, you know, you're not starting fresh, you know something about him. In fact, felt like you've lived something of his early life, you know, like sometimes characters you have to create a backstory, and well, in this we already did it. We did kind of what happened 20 years ago, but then you have to fill in what's happened in these very eventful 20 years since. And they had a very good idea about it. You know, my character is now the head of the organization to try to prevent, you know, to get us ready for another attack. And then these writers on this movie were very good and very helpful, and I worked with them a bit to get myself ready and saw the first movie again. But Roland Emmerich was a wonderful director and a good actor's director. I do believe he was for me. I loved working with him.
Working this time was different. First time you had this German special effects guy. Now you went to Albuquerque, this set that they have all green or blue, and you have to act differently. It affected the acting this time, being different from the first time for you?
I think it was kind of the same. There are 3 times many more special effects shots in this one, so there was a lot of blue screen, but still, all the blue screen happened when you were with somebody else, acting with Bill Pullman or Judd Hirsch or Liam Hemsworth or Jesse, and so it was the same kind of thing. It's not dissimilar, not dissimilar in the acting experience, you know.
They're coming back. That is definitely bigger than the last one.
What are we gonna see this time? We're gonna have to fight the aliens. This time I really like it a little bit more than the first time. Even though I like it, I felt like, oh, this is like US propaganda. Like, oh, the Americans can say
the first time.
The first time.
But this is
more
global, international.
We got Chinese people.
Effort.
Even though I didn't see any Latin people in here. Probably they were there working.
They're definitely in it. You know, the world is united in a way that we can only dream of today.
That's what I like about this time. It's very global.
It is very global. And you know, especially the Earth space defense, it's something that we've kind of taken the best of the military from every nation and kind of put them together to defend against this common enemy. You know what I mean? We put aside our personal differences. We don't have to fight against each other anymore, thank God. And now we are able
nice
to
thing, yeah. The whole world is united and very effective. And 20 years isn't a long time to rebuild, which it seems we have. All the world, half-destroyed world. Everybody, like they do in a crisis, when there's an earthquake or a horrible tragedy, people want to help each other, realize they're all vulnerable and fragile and have common interests.
Because our survival is only possible when we stand together.
And there's also a nice wink to actual politics. We have a woman president in the movie.
That's true.
That's right.
Maybe Roland was ahead of us in a sense. Maybe he knew something that we didn't know.
Roland is a great guy. We've met him before, and his mind is just out of this world. When they go to you and say, okay, you have to imagine this alien coming this way or that way, do you seem like mad or something like that sometimes?
You know what? They're very elaborative, Roland and his team. They have digital effects and they have previs and all these other things, and they can help you understand what it is that they're trying to get you to see and that they're going to eventually create around you. And it's an interesting process, to tell you the truth. You just have to use your imagination. You have to be very trusting as well. You have to trust Roland's word, and that what he is telling you will look good on camera. You just never know. I mean, only he's the one who has that mastermind, and I'm kind of there as as a piece to be structured and move around and all that kind of stuff. But it's different.
What we do in the next 12 minutes will either define the human race or finish it.
Do you ever wonder about if this might really happen or if there's life somewhere else? Do you ever wonder about it?
Especially doing a story like this, I started to read a little bit, talk to people. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. There are people who have devoted their lives and careers to studying it. And what they say is that we've never been contacted and we haven't found evidence yet, but given the size of the universe and the number of planets, there's a likelihood that we're not the center of the universe and the only ones out there, Yeah.
Shouldn't we be nervous? Yeah.
You're one of the coolest actors in Hollywood, let me
So
tell you.
sweet.
It is. And your roles are always very likable. Your David is very likable from the time we saw it 20 years ago to this time. What's that in your characters? Do you pick them that way, or do you put something that might connect with people? Because all of your roles, even though the Fly, he was likable in some way.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Thanks. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I love acting. I've always been obsessed with it, and I still try to, like I said, get better and learn from it. I have a good time. I'll tell you. I enjoy doing it. So, I enjoy doing it, and I try to more and more. It's like portrait painting. You try to make it more human and nature, but taken from nature, and if there's nature in it, who isn't? We're all naturally kind of attracted to nature. Don't mess with Earth.
Jessie, you're portraying Will Smith character, Steven Hiller, son on this movie. Did they give you any pressure, like, oh, you're gonna be the next Will Smith or something like that? Does it bother you?
I've heard that just about every day since I got cast in this movie. That people say like, oh, you're the next Will Smith, or whatever. But there's a little bit of pressure that's inflicted. Some was self-created, and it was all kind of alleviated and lifted off of me when I got to set and seeing how welcoming everybody was. All the veteran actors were just happy to be back, and very accepting of myself and the other newcomers. And Roland was very excited to have some different faces in there, and he felt very comfortable to let me play that character. So I feel like if the man who created the movie is fine with me doing it, then there's no reason why I shouldn't be either. So it was liberating. I was able to just take a deep breath and perform.
You were 4 when the first one came out.
Correct.
When you get connected with ID4?
it was years later. You know, they living in the United States right around every July, 4th of July, you see the movie on television constantly all the time.
TV.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've seen it plenty of times.
Is that the first time you saw it on television?
Oh yeah, I saw it on television.
Really? But you've never seen it in theater, I'll bet.
I mean, we can ask my mother and then see it. Maybe she took me, but I definitely don't remember seeing it.
Before, I don't think so.
Yeah, I
It
doubt
was
it.
scary.
You think so? It's like,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, the first one was kind of scary actually, but this one's kind of scary too. But yeah, you know, right around like preteen, 12, 13ish, I sort of remember seeing different things and laughing at certain points and finding interest in the scientific aspects of the film and things like that.
What is it you want us to do?
Yeah, and this one is great. As I said before, I see it as a global movie, but also it's an ensemble movie. You got
Yeah.
a lot of roles playing their parts, being together, and fighting for the same cause.
Right.
That's we should compare to our real life. Everyone going for the same goal. Listen.
Yeah, we just got to find that, you know, we have to all get on the same page and have the common goal first. I think right now everybody has their own goals, and
Yeah.
that's where the conflict is coming
Well, we
from.
could have a common goal. I mean, we know we all live in a global environment, and we have to fix climate change. You know, clean
Make sure everyone is fed.
the planet up. We all breathe the same air, and if we fight with each other, we can't. You know, it's bad for all of us. We got to find a way to have peace break out.
Are we gonna see Independence Day 3?
I hope so.
Did you sign for something?
There's been some talk about it, you know. Of course, when you sign up to a film like this, they always have the possibility, so there's that. But Roland has a very interesting idea for a third film if we given the opportunity about traveling.
Hope we don't have to wait for 20 more years.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. You are the greatest.
Thank you.